Good afternoon, Facebook. This is Sylvia Randolph coming to you from the outside sunny day. It's a Saturday afternoon and many are driving past and walking past, and I'm 5 minutes away from Capitol Hill, and I'm talking to you today or this afternoon about some of the things that undergo the lives of many of the women here that are living at this facility. It's a beautiful place that needs work done to it, but it's a place that has been the home for many women. Women who have found themselves in positions, whether they be financial positions, whether they're positions where they were affected by a abusive relationship, whether it be a husband or a boyfriend, whether they were moving into the District of Columbia, or any and many other means that women have found themselves residing here at this facility. I must say that the time that I have spent here has been an ethnographic, inner searching, inner reckoning, and most certainly an inner awakening for myself. An ethnography is a piece of material that deals with a person's own personal perspective of a social or socialistic environment wherein which they have themselves and or experiencing the same in which they are researching and or the same in which they are trying to learn about. It's not a distance learning adventure, but it's an adventure wherein which a person has placed themselves literally within the context of what they're trying to get an understanding of, rather than it being an anthropology or a viewpoint of an anthropologist, one who looks at the standpoint. They may be in the situation, but yet they take a stand back from the situation or the environment in order to kind of enlighten the circumstance or the situation. In this case, the enlightenment with an ethnographic viewpoint comes from within. And so in ethnography, you ask yourself, literally, what has the personal perspective of this experience as it evolves or involves the greater social community or network that you're involved in. And it says to me that there are a lot of women and children in our society who are suffering a great deal of life's social nuances and plagues that have in so many cases deemed them to live within the shelter confines, within systemic ramifications, within a process virtue of trying to come around and be a part of a social or society network. However, many women don't go beyond this concept here. Many enter into this system and few find themselves leaving. My opportunity of having an advance over many of the women here is one that is great, yet should not be taken under the perspective or auspices that I am greater or any better than the human nature of any individual. Yet my experience here has showed me that life circumstances can deem and weave its way in and out of people's lives, and that it takes the personal perspective to do that introspection, to ask yourself to look at your situation, observe it, and say, what can I do to help myself get out of this situation? And I want to say, audience, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been taking the time while here, always taking a situation and learning from it the best that I can. Taking the time to understand that, yes, I'm in this situation, but it is not my life and it's not who I am. And so if I were to take an ethnographic viewpoint, and if I were to apply any subject matter to it, it would be that says, if I had to give testimony to city council on why it is that they need to push forward with any means for housing, for any means of building, for any means of coming in and fixing up the shelter system, I would basically simply say three things. Take the time. Look outside of your scope. Understand the ramification and the realm in which these women and men, in this case I will speak on the women's positions especially, and understand that it really doesn't take all that much to make decisions based on measures that will enhance an individual's life. So why should the District of Columbia City Council begin to focus on fixing the shelter system? Why should the City Council District of Columbia begin to understand the need for affordable housing? Why should the District of Columbia City Council begin to understand that it does not take that much? Go in and weed out the ones who are doing something for themselves and begin to put inference on those individuals and say, hey, we would love the opportunity to help you get on your way. What can we do to help and assist you do that? What can we do to make your circumstances a little better? How can we better guide your process out of your situation and into a better place to live, better environment? How do we build our communities? I am 5 minutes away from Capitol Hill, the capital of the United States of America. I am 5 minutes away, literally, from the state's capital. And you mean to tell me that the District of Columbia cannot come up with a good plan that says this is what we're doing to help those who live in our state's capital move beyond their circumstances and into something better? Well, I'll say this to you, District of Columbia. Help those who help themselves. Don't overlook the ones who are out here struggling and striving every day to be in a better position. Don't overlook the ones whom you think fit the shoes you want them to fit in so that you can do something different in your own philosophies. I say this to the District of Columbia. Take the time while you're networking, network in a place something different, in a position to help those who are helping themselves. I'll start with something called rapid rehousing. 2008, our president put rapid rehousing in place. Rapid rehousing is for professionals who found themselves in financial hardship. Financial hardship that said, I lost my job, my finances were cut, my resources has dwindled away, and now I need to go to the government for some assistance. For a woman who's got a college degree, lost her job, and even had to undergo some additional situations and circumstances in their life. Currently in school, pursuing a master's, able to get on her feet by just a simple hand called rapid rehousing. Well, I'll tell you, District of Columbia, I tried that, and guess what happened? After I got my lease signed and went for the financial assistance of the first month's security, I was told the application process for housing was canceled. I was told, come back next month. I was told, you're not number 50. These are all of the things that were given to me after I had gone and tried to get the assistance that I needed. My 6 months plan was very simple. Get housing, get a job, and move on with life. Well, I have the job. The housing fell through. I'm going to give it one more shot, and I'm going to attempt to go through the process of getting rapid rehousing once again, and go from there and find out for myself, just for myself, So in this ethnographic viewpoint, I'm not coming to you from some stance of way over here on a hill, no pun intended, or some office way downtown in a structured environment, but I'm coming to you in an environment that says we, those who can help themselves, want to be helped and assisted. This is Sylvia Randolph signing off. Have a wonderful day. And if anyone outside of the District of Columbia is able to view this, and by chance you see a woman and her children struggling, and you ask her a few questions such as, do you have a college degree? What kind of work do you do? And she responds back and she says, well, I have this, this, and this, and all I need is just this. I've never experienced any type of criminal activity, never done drugs, mentally sound. I have all of these things. Professional career woman whose endeavors are to make the lives of those that I touch base with on a daily basis, especially women and children and families, happy and safe. This is Sylvia. Have a good one. Smile.